In case you've still got money in the bank, Bloomberg is warning that defaults in commercial real estate loans could, quote, topple hundreds of U.S. banks, leaving taxpayers on the hook for potentially trillions in losses. The note by senior editor James Crombie walks us through the festering hellscape that is commercial real estate. To set the mood, a new study predicts nearly half of downtown Pittsburgh office space could be vacant in 4 years. Major cities like San Francisco are already sporting zombie apocalypse downtowns with abandoned buildings baking in the sun. So what happened? In short, the Fed's yo-yo interest rates first flooded real estate with low rates and cheap money, which overbuilt. Then when the Fed panic-hiked interest rates in the 2021 inflation, that put trillions of commercial real estate underwater. This could mimic last year's bank crisis, where falling bond prices panicked depositors. They started pulling their money out of banks. That crisis only stopped when Janet Yellen and Jerome Powell effectively bailed out every bank in America with sweetheart loans written on fictitious asset values, along with unlimited taxpayer guarantees through the comically underfunded FDIC. By the way, the FDIC is essentially guaranteeing over $20 trillion in deposits at the moment on just over $100 billion. So they've got a half penny on the dollar. Now, without those government pre-bailouts, one paper last year by researchers at Stanford and Columbia estimated that 1,619 U.S. banks, it's about a third of them, could be at risk of failure. The problem is nothing was actually fixed. In fact, it's getting worse, for the simple reason that as the months roll by, there's more and more debt coming due. And that brings us to Crombie, who notes that there's $929 billion of commercial real estate debt coming due in the next 9.5 months. That's up 28% from last year. And it's getting bigger every day as banks pretend that loans are still healthy by effectively adding missed payments back onto the loan. We're starting to see glitches in the matrix already. So New York Community Bank just went through a near-death experience over its garbage portfolio of real estate loans, dropping almost 80% before it was bailed out by vulture investors, while the mega banks hovered like mega vultures. More will come, potentially a lot more. A new study from the National Bureau of Economic Research estimates that up to 385 American banks could fail over commercial real estate alone. These would overwhelmingly be small regional banks who typically hold about a third of their assets in commercial real estate loans. They hold so much because they know their local markets best, but the Fed poisoned that chalice by flooding easy money to developers. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. For now, we're only seeing the sickest banks dropping out of the herd. That could dramatically accelerate as that trillion plus in loans comes due. Commercial real estate delinquency rates have already jumped to 6.5%. That's up 30% in a couple of months. Rates of distress in office loans hit 11%. When the smoke clears, we could see dozens or hundreds of regional banks go under. Going by the last time that happened with savings and loans, taxpayers ended up eating 80% of the losses, meaning you could be on the hook for trillions while the mega banks gorge on the tasty carcasses. Slashing interest rates could staunch the bleeding, but with inflation marching up every month, currently at 5.5% annualized, that is not going to happen. Read the rest of the article, charts and all, at profsaintange.com. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.